I'll be very helpful.
Hold on. Okay, we are live. Alright. Hello, internet world. Awkward intro time. We're playing a game that's not a first-person shooter for once. We're playing Tangle Tower, which is the sequel, I believe, to Detective Grimoire, which I have actually played, but I hadn't done it on this channel. And joining me today is Kendall. Say hi, Kendall.
Hi.
And she's gonna play the game with me, however she can. So we're gonna start with a new file. I believe subtitles are on. Mid-afternoon? Who starts an investigation in the mid-afternoon? Lake's Edge.
You ready, Sally?
Grimoire, I've been standing here for 7.5 minutes.
Just checking.
Do you have the map?
Yeah, but it's basically blank. Did you read the case file? What do you think?
I'm not sure yet. It's really not a lot to go on. Did you read it?
Yeah, I'll read it on the way to the crime scene.
Yeah, great detective work. Freya Fellow died whilst painting a portrait of Flora Fellow, located in Flora's tower. How is she present without actually knowing what happened? It's like Danganronpa, Kendall.
Man, I love it when people die and I have to figure out who, then they die again, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the stuff.
The color on the tip of the knife is not paint. It was discovered to be blood. Like, on the... Okay, I'm very confused now. Small painting on scrap paper. Nowadays it goes by Tangle Tower, but it's actually a pair of towers connected by a mansion at the base. So, like Luigi's Mansion. Surrounded by a circular lake, the water is an unusual mix of colors. Eco-terrorism. The lake is enclosed by sheer pale cliffs. They're too steep and smooth to climb. It's home to both the Fellow family and the Pointer family. And that's it. Freya is the only character we know. Murder victim, died while painting. Location in Flora's tower. Lying on her back with a single stab wound. No weapon at the scene, but the subject of Freya's unfinished painting is holding a knife. The red color on the tip of the knife is not paint and was discovered to be blood. So, a painting made out of blood, I'd say.
I think it's just a painting with blood on it.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I don't remember having a partner in the last game, besides the one guy who went on the boat with me. That's all I know, I believe.
So, who do you think did it?
Sally, you know full well we haven't met a single suspect yet. We haven't even been to the crime scene.
Still, I reckon I've got it all worked out. It's a garden. I think. It's currently far away.
We could walk closer to it.
Ready when you are.
This dialogue is
It's a garden, I think. Ready when you are.
Well, that's what I figured. Gardens. As in more than one.
It's a statue of some hideous, scaly, bipedal fish monster.
Playing a harp.
Playing a harp.
Playing a harp.
Hang on a second.
I guess I'll look closer.
This
Oh, look, a puzzle.
isn't just a regular statue, is it?
Something tells me we're not going to solve this just yet.
What's the purpose of the rotation? Why give it fancy ones right around here and the beginnings is just regular things? Like, these are definitely things I can figure out what they are, but other than that, it's just weird symbols. Alright,
Let's come back later.
yeah, I figured that.
It must do something.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Harp statue. Okay.
Spooky. What do you think it's for?
I think it's to scare away detectives.
Is it working?
No. It's a stone carving. Wonder how it got cracked.
I think it's supposed to look like that. It's an egg. It's a bandstand.
Bit small for a bandstand.
It's a one-man bandstand.
Wow, that's a terrible joke.
It's a one-man bandstand. Whoa.
It's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to say, too quiet?
It's not. It's an appropriate amount of quiet.
An appropriate.
She. Oh, she's harsh.
She's snarky. Is that going in the quotes?
No, I was talking to Mel and Brooke.
Oh, there's an O on the floor.
Oh yeah.
There is
Tangled
an
tour.
Tour.
Tor. There is an O.
Tor. Tangle
Do you think he'll
Tor.
start to move if we try to go inside?
No, I think he'll just silently judge us.
Like my family.
Should we ring the doorbell?
Yes, be polite.
Why would we not?
Yeah.
It's a little melody.
Yeah, I can hear that. That's how doorbells work.
Don't think it's locked.
Oh, that means we can just walk straight in, right?
I'm pretty sure that's the rule, yeah.
That's the rule.
think
That's
it's
how it
that
works.
means-
I'm pretty sure that's the rule, yeah.
Do we want to investigate the outside or do we want to walk straight in?
I think we should walk straight in there. We can go back outside if we need to.
Grand Hall. No one's here. Good job.
Now it's a big glass tube filled with water.
It is.
Whoa.
Weeds in there.
Astute
And
observation.
sand.
Oh, sand. I love
It's a
sand.
Except there's nothing living in it anymore.
Fish tank. It's not a fish tank.
It's not a fish tank.
It used to be a fish tank, probably.
I think it's a family tree.
Family tree. Let's see where this
Oh,
goes.
she's there. I see her.
Primrose.
Um,
Okay. Lord Fellow and Lady Fellow. Hold on. Okay, let's start with the Fellow side. Lord Fellow and Lady Fellow got married and had Flint and Felix Fellow. However, Lord Fellow also had another daughter named Selena Stonetop. Selena Stone... Actually, no. He had an affair with Selena Stonetop and had a daughter named Felicia Fellow. Felicia Fellow married Damien Dusk and gave birth to Freya Fellow. Man, this is going to be a whole lot of alliteration. Flint Fellow and Emily Everstone had Fitz Fellow, which is where we now go to the Remingtons. Lord and Lady Remington had Flora Remington and Primrose Remington, and Richard Remington, who is currently unmarried, I believe. Flora Remington married Felix Fellow and had Fiona Fellow. Lord Pointer and Lady Pointer had Percival Pointer and Pandora Pointer, who married Buck Brackley and had Penelope Pointer. And Percival Pointer and Primrose Remington had Poppy Pointer. This is gonna kill me. I know it. I can't say their names. I just physically can't. I'm terrible at tongue twisters. And Daddy's grinning. Which way? Actually, I don't know if
It's not locked.
It's not locked. Another sign that we should enter.
A door.
Oh, what's
Yes.
behind it?
A door.
A door.
A room.
Over here.
Whoa. A room.
What's up here?
Stairs.
Stairs. All these astute observations.
Stairs.
More stairs. Okay, where do we go? Side rooms or upstairs?
Upstairs sounds cool.
Which way? Left or right?
Right.
Right is always
Let's head to
right.
the crime scene first.
To the crime scene then.
It's at the top of the West Tower.
Oh yeah.
The top of the West Tower. So left. We're going left, Kendall.
But that's
Let's
not
head to the crime
right.
scene
No.
first. It's at the top of the West Tower, I think.
So I think it'd be the.
We're going.
Yeah.
Oh, you can just
That
go straight
room.
up there.
Let's just skip every room and go there.
Yeah, just go straight. Oh, hey, look. There's a lady with long wavy hair. I'm gonna click on the egg.
Let's take a look at that painting first.
No, look at the egg.
I want to look at the egg. Alright, yeah.
There
look
it
at the
is.
painting. There it is.
The unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it.
Looks that way.
It doesn't look that way. It looks mostly finished.
It looks pretty done.
It looks mostly done to me.
I wonder if all of Freya's paintings are this creepy.
Whoa, we
Maybe
have
it's just because
full
she
body
never got to
models
finish
now.
it.
There's something wrong with the crime scene. And something really weird about the murder weapon.
We didn't find a murder weapon.
That's what's weird about it. Oh, hey, look, a puzzle.
It was probably. Do you
Or-
think? No, that makes.
Portrait is holding
Yeah,
a knife tipped with blood because Freya put it there. That
Probably.
That sounds
Maybe.
Flora's
Yeah.
portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood because Freya put it there. Almost. Maybe just change
Very
one
close.
thing.
So I guess it's the last one.
She's going to eat
It's
it.
going to eat it. But it was removed from the crime scene. That sounds right.
Flora's portrait is holding a knife tipped with blood, but it was removed from the scene. Almost.
Nope.
Maybe just change
What?
one thing.
What? Because Freya... Because it stabbed Freya?
It didn't.
It
No.
did- it's a painting.
Or what if it did? Ooh.
Was used to kill. It's completely covered in. Was used to knock out. Is holding a knife tipped with. That sounds right from what we know so far. Because it stabbed Freya.
Flora's portrait
That's
is holding
right.
a knife tipped with blood because it stabbed Freya.
Whoa.
Weird, huh?
You think Freya was stabbed by a painting? Not by
Yes.
the woman from the painting, but by the painting itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Freya was standing right up by the canvas when she was killed. There's blood
Then
on
who
the knife.
finished the painting?
It's
the murder weapon.
Right, but it's not actually a knife. It can't stab.
See any other knives around here?
Ooh,
Okay.
he
Good
makes
job,
a
detective.
point.
It's not close.
Makes
And even if you
a
were
fine
right, where does
point.
that leave us? A painting can't be a murder suspect.
Yes, it can.
Welcome to the end. We finished the game. Time to go home.
It was the painting, I knew it!
It's the painting, you did it.
The outline of Freya Fellow. Looks like she fell onto her back.
She fell on her back, which means she was stabbed from the front.
There's a single
Yeah.
patch of blood, right in the middle.
Well, she would have seen it coming.
No real signs of a struggle.
And no signs of a struggle.
She had to get the best kind of blood for the
What?
painting.
Her
Real
feet were right up by the
blood.
canvas.
Her feet are right by the canvas.
So,
So she was probably standing really close to the canvas when she fell.
let's check the case file again.
Was found lying on her back with a single stab wound on her chest. Maybe stabbed from behind but in the front? Like someone came up behind her and just stabbed inward?
Maybe.
That seems weird. No weapon found at the scene. Yeah. I want to check the egg.
Is that an egg?
It is an egg.
Yes.
An egg with bird feet.
Yes, it is.
Why, of
It's
course.
also covered in gemstones. What a
Why are you
extraordinary
questioning
object.
this? It's completely
It's a
ordinary.
container for something.
Those gems look like they come off.
They do.
Take them off.
Swap the position of the gems. Rotate the egg to see a clue on the back.
Oh boy.
Oh, it's rotated.
Yeah, yeah.
Which means one of these goes here. The other is a circle.
Oof.
One is a star and one is a... Hold on. There's a star and a stop sign. Hold on. That intersects with the crazy thing. That only does that.
Oh.
Okay, shorter side is stop sign. Longer side is star, I believe. That should be diamond and diamond, I believe. I think. And then square and circle, which is already there. And then star to diamond. Diamond to amethyst. I'm gonna call that weird thing an amethyst. That leads to a circle. That leads to a circle. That leads to a diamond. And diamond leads to diamond.
That's the one.
Okay.
Hey, not bad.
I'm smart!
Did it unlock? What's in there?
Nothing.
Nothing? Wow.
Ooh.
Well, I'm not leaving without a clue.
I'm not leaving
And
without
empty egg is a clue, right?
Yes.
empty egg is a clue. Soft and velvety. Supported by a stand made of grass. Rests on 3 strange feet. That's the murder weapon.
Supposedly,
The
Freya
egg.
was working on the painting when she was
The
killed.
egg.
Looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
The true sign of a monster.
Or is it red paint? Ooh. Is it? Ooh.
The largest is a blob of black in the middle. Why point that out?
It might be important.
It might be. But why? What does paint color have to do with it?
Is that a gramophone?
I think so. Except it's got a tape deck instead of a turntable.
It's also got a big crack down the middle.
That was the murder weapon.
The gramophone was the murder weapon. Plays cassette tapes instead of records. It's pointing towards
Oh, that's weird.
What about the cassette tape?
What about the cassette
Yeah,
tape?
it sure is. Pink.
The pink cassette tape? To Freya. So, it's got a crack down the middle too, so it must have been broken with the gramophone, right?
You'd think so, yeah.
That or Freya is very klutzy.
The gramophone? We could give it a go.
We could. We get a second tape. What you hear, Kendall?
Just piano.
It's piano music.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens when I listen to the end. Just want to make sure there's not something hiding at like the end or something. Just enjoy the piano music. You heard that, right?
That sounded like a very abrupt end.
Oh, well, I can't hear it again. So, yeah, that sounded not right.
It's so dark back there.
Somehow, the sunlight doesn't seem to be making it very far into the room.
Almost as if there's a ceiling.
Whoa.
Freya's painting supplies.
Is that really a clue?
They're broken.
Man, she is really klutzy. Alright, let's finally talk to this lady. Oh wow, you're not...
FLORA.
Man, you are a woman.
Whoa, billowing hair.
Hey, sorry to barge in. I'm sure you're still in some distress.
We need to ask you a few questions, I'm afraid.
Did you witness the murder, Flora?
She's glaring at me.
Nothing. What do we do?
Not sure. She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now.
For now.
I was just thinking, that she would have had to been in the room if she died while painting. But
Yeah.
then I realized that she could have been drawing from memory.
No, she was probably in the room.
What do you mean, question mark?
FLORA fellow?
Oh, where are you?
Hair.
Hey,
Hair, whoosh.
sorry to barge in.
Where are you?
I'm sure you're still in
We get to
some
watch the
distress.
smooth animation.
We need to ask you a few questions, I'm afraid.
Did you witness the murder,
Just
Flora?
shows to go, yeah, that you can make a video game with art.
Nothing. What do we
That
do?
you draw on your
Not
drawing
sure.
tablet.
She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now.
It's so smooth. Ah.
Is there anything you'd like to tell us, FLORA? I don't really know anything about you at all.
I think that's the way she likes it. We'll just have to ask other people about her.
Yeah, okay.
Freya was painting your portrait yesterday. Is that right?
Was this something you had planned with her ahead of time?
Was there something special about yesterday?
Did you talk to Freya at all while she was painting you?
She can only answer
She's
one
not
question.
going to
and
answer us, is she?
If
Nope.
she even is.
But at least we can say we tried.
Maybe she's mute.
FLORA, you were definitely in the room at the time of the murder. Surely you must have seen something? Can you tell me anything about what happened to Freya?
She killed Freya with her nose. She killed Freya with her nose.
She's acting pretty suspicious, if you ask me.
I don't know. Maybe she really doesn't know anything.
How is that possible? Anything we should know? Any hobbies? Besides staring out the window? Were you close with Freya? How are you two related? Did you kill Freya?
Grimoire!
What? I don't even think she's listening.
Oh, she's listening.
What should I ask her about? Okay, Kyle. She has nothing to
Is
say
this
about
your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked?
it. What about the tape? Nothing. What about the egg?
FLORA, this is your egg? Why do you keep it locked?
Is there supposed to be something in there? Or
Is
is it always empty?
A real fancy egg. It's just there. What about the statue? Nothing?
Did you
I'm
ask
just gonna
Freya
go
to
through
paint this? Or was it her idea?
What is that you're holding in the painting, Flora? Some people have been saying it's a knife.
Billow. Alright, I'm done.
She seems very suspicious.
She does. Lord Remington is her father. Richard Remington is her brother, and Primrose Pointer is her sister. But we don't know who she is to Freya. Currently, she resides at the top of the tower. Yes, there's many things suspicious about Flora. Remind me to check that. Hold on, I'm gonna check this again.
What is that?
I
Is
think
it-
it's a family tree.
It's a family tree. Now shush. Flora Remington. There's Flora Remington. Hold on. Freya and Flora.
What is that?
I think it's a family tree.
It's a family tree. Flora is Freya's. That can't be right. Hold on. Which is which again? I'm not sure. This whole family tree's got me all out of whack. Lord Remington.
Flora
is father.
Fellow, not Remington.
Yeah, but there is no Flora Fellow. She did marry a fellow, I believe, so she changed her last name.
Maybe.
Richard Remington is her brother. And Lord Remington is her father, which means she's not actually a fellow.
What is
I
that?
think it's a family tree.
Yeah, see?
She did. Wait. She married a fellow.
Did marry Felix Fellow, which would
So that would have changed her last name.
make her a fellow. So according
Yeah.
to this, that's Flora is her great aunt, I believe.
Probably.
I think so. That sounds right. Alright, where do you want to go next? We said we'd visit the garden again, so let's just go back out there. Let's start from the ground and work our way up. Hey, look, a person.
Whoa, nice cape.
You're not fellows or pointers. I'm sure I shall immediately regret asking. But who are you, and what is your business here?
I'm Sally, and this is my sidekick, Grimoire.
A private detective, Grimoire.
Really? You're a detective. If this is a joke, it's not a good one.
Who are you, anyway?
Private Detective Hawkshaw.
Oh, nice. Hawkshaw's a cooler name than Grimoire. Maybe I'll become her sidekick.
You're not on the Freya Fellow case, too, are you?
That is classified information between myself and my client. Clearly, this is something which eludes you. But a real detective refrains from handing out informations to persons unknown.
Oh, right.
Now, if you would, I have work to do.
Looks like you were messing around in that little box.
It's not in my interest to discuss personal details.
Even if you're one of the suspects in a murder?
Very well. Let us make a small exception. Ask.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm on a case at the behest of my client.
How long have you been at Tangle Tower?
133 hours. 5.5 days.
Who are you working for?
I am not at liberty to answer that. Now, I shall permit you one more question.
What crime are you...
How'd you get that scar? It's cool.
You really think so?
Establish a report.
As it happens, I completed an examination of Flora's room on the morning before the murder. I've been investigating every single room at Tangle Tower. Hers is one of the last on my list.
Did you find anything unusual?
Nothing but a thin layer of dust and an atmosphere of somber melancholy.
Was Flora in there at the time?
She spent the duration of my search staring up at the sky, out the open window. Didn't say a word, although I'm told this is the expected behavior.
What did you do after that?
I spent the early evening searching the library. It took longer than it should have. Fiona leaves that room in a permanent state of disarray.
Fiona was in the library too?
I expected her to make an appearance, but she did not.
And you stayed in the library the rest of the day?
Not quite.
We don't know a Fiona. We have Flora and Freya. These names are
Yeah, you haven't met Fiona.
gonna kill me.
She has not been discovered yet.
Towards
Give me
the
a
early
statement.
evening, my examination of the library was unexpectedly disrupted. Sounds of running, wailing, shouting from several floors above. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared. He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the Fellow staircase. Our eyes met. He was breathless. Something had caused him great alarm. He told me to stay out of the way. I consented. I decided to return to my office in the stone square. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. She was clutching the banister of the Pointer staircase with an apprehensive manner. She wished to know where Professor Pointer had gone. I told her what had transpired. Then, she too crossed the hall and disappeared up the fellow staircase. More so than at any moment prior, I felt like quite an intruder in the house. I took my leave, out towards the stone square. The grounds were silent. There were no signs of human life. Even the greenhouse was without its typical inhabitant. I noted that he, too, must be entangled in whatever was transpiring in Fellow Tower. An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance. He spoke to me of what had occurred. His report was as clumsy and cumbersome as the man giving it.
Did he seem upset?
He was rattled. That much was clear. But sorrowful? Mournful? I cannot say.
She's very good at giving exposition.
Freya Fellow is of great interest to me. I perceived her to be the most intelligent individual here at Tangle Tower. Within a day, she had identified for whom I was working and for what I was searching. I didn't know how she did it. I was impressed. I regret that I did not question her more thoroughly when I had the opportunity.
You couldn't have known she was about to be killed, though.
I have only myself to blame for failing to perceive the signs.
What signs?
I do not wish to do your job for you, Detective.
She's just really hard to work with.
Quite the stoic statue, isn't she? I can only dream of being as cold and indifferent as Flora Fellow.
She's hiding something?
Wow.
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she barely sleeps, an hour here or there, sporadically. Spends the rest of her time staring up at the sky.
Tell me about yourself.
314 cases solved.
314?
14.
You gotta keep that 14 in
Tangle
mind.
Tower. Or at least it's the mansion at the base of Tangle Tower.
Anything else I should ask you about? Like, evidence-wise.
You got it open. I'm impressed. I managed it myself yesterday. I thought Flora might be hiding something in there.
It was empty yesterday, too.
It was. Perhaps it's always been empty. I believe that was in Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last.
Not cracked. Your
A
gramophone
somewhat
too?
cumbersome device, and an altogether inefficient way to listen to music.
What kind of music do you like, Hawkshaw?
I like anything.
What a cop-out.
Have you deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the harp?
We're working on it.
That's a no, then.
She's snarky. Well,
Maybe you should just ask her about everything. Go ahead and ask her about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing.
A detective's job is to examine every avenue of thinking.
The painting did it. The painting did
She
it.
makes a mighty fine point.
I'm done here. We're going over here now. We're in the greenhouse.
Oh, is the gardener gonna be there?
Oh,
Ooh.
oh, he's right there. That's creepy.
Oh, I didn't see him.
Oh, his eyes gone.
Don't move. We're being watched.
Yeah, I see him. He's a little too big to hide in the bushes.
Then he just hide in the shadows.
Big
bro.
boy. We got a big
Is anyone
boy.
going to say anything? Or shall we just stand around staring at each other?
Right. Sorry.
Sorry.
That's better. I'm Sally. And the guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are you?
Fitz Fellow, the gardener.
Mm-hmm. And why are you so tall?
I don't know.
So,
I am just large.
so a member of the royal family is reduced to being the gardener?
Maybe it's his hobby.
You work here
Maybe.
as the gardener.
I don't get paid to do it. It's just my area of interest.
Yeah, you're right.
What's the deal with the
Yeah,
plants?
hobby.
They're all kind of weird.
Right. Did you see the lake?
That giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house? Yeah, I clocked it.
The color is just a byproduct.
Of what? Poison?
Radiation?
It's not poisonous. Not to you.
What's this got to do with the plants?
The water controls all life, just like anywhere else on the planet. Clouds form, rain falls. The water grows the plants, animals eat the plants. Anything you've perceived as an irregularity is simply a result of this hydrological cycle.
Could you say that again, but like condense it as if you were talking to a slightly stupid person?
Our lake water causes the unpredictable alteration of DNA, sometimes.
Alteration? Like mutation?
That'd be the official term. For us, it's normal. Just nature.
And you're the local expert on all this stuff?
No, I'm just the gardener.
Just the gardener. He seems a lot better than everyone else we've met, even though his encounter was terrifying.
I was in my greenhouse
He's just there.
and weeding.
Sounds exciting.
Was anyone else around?
I'm in love with the animations. I
Penelope
can't stop
came in a
looking
little
at them.
later.
They're so
She
good.
likes looking at the flowers, I think.
Did you speak to each other?
A little, not too much. We both left the greenhouse in the early afternoon. I went up to my room. Then I came back outside to weed the main gardens. Didn't see anyone else. After that, I went up to the garden outside my room.
And?
Let me guess. Watering and weeding.
Right.
Did anything happen to you yesterday, Fitz?
I was up in the rooftop garden. It was quiet. And then
Rooftop garden.
it wasn't.
Ooh.
I can't describe it. Could have been a scream, but it didn't sound human.
Inhuman scream.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
We?
Poppy was with me. Did I not mention that? Flora's room was locked. That's normal. She usually locks it from the inside. I knocked on the door and shouted. Nobody responded. We became concerned.
You kicked the door down?
I did. Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back. Flora was there too, but I barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too. Penelope arrived shortly after that, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You don't normally see the two of them together. Felix took charge. There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found her pacing back and forth around the stone square. When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
That's a very enlightening statement.
He ain't showing much emotion. He just kind of talking.
I like Flora. I hope she's all right.
Do you think she had anything to do with the murder?
There's no way. She wouldn't willingly cause any additional suffering for anyone.
Additional.
Ooh, they aren't happy.
I didn't know there was math here.
She was always kind to me. She'd come into the greenhouse when I was working, sometimes by herself, sometimes with Poppy. I think they were just bored at first. Eventually, they started asking questions.
About what?
Poppy wanted to learn about flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects.
Insects?
One of my jobs is to protect plants from things that might eat them. Freya brought me this little glass box, leaves and twigs inside. She'd say, "Put all the troublemakers in there." Every day I'd put a handful of beetles and other things in the box. Then she'd come along and take it away. I didn't really understand her, but she was always kind. She questioned me.
About what?
My work, the plants, bit of everything.
Did she search the greenhouse?
No, she didn't.
You sure? Maybe she did it when you weren't in there.
No, she hasn't touched it.
How can you tell?
Trust me, I can tell.
Tell me about yourself, Fritz. Wait! Kendall!
Yes.
Fritz is this world's version of Gonta.
Have you met this guy, Fitz? Shifty eyes, doesn't say a lot. Totally suspicious, if you ask me.
That's me.
Yeah, that's... It was a joke. I was joking.
Oh, I see.
Ha 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 ha. That was funny.
Funny joke.
That belongs to Poppy.
So, why is it up in Flora's tower?
I'm not sure. That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Why does it say
Poppy.
to Freya if it's poppies?
Pinks
Well,
are
it was for
different to
Freya.
Flowers.
I'd
But
say so,
originally it
yeah.
was poppies.
At any time,
I guess.
flowers can bloom with perfect, faultless colors. Red, blue, white. With paint, once you've tainted a color by mixing it with others, not even the most skilled painter can return it to its pure form.
We'll have to harp.
It's of no interest to me, but I overheard Poppy and Freya talking about it once.
What were they saying?
They were arguing about something, but I can't remember the details.
Wow, that's important. Egg.
It's an egg.
Egg.
Feet.
It was locked.
Whoa.
We opened it, but it was empty.
Fun story.
What do you think that is in Flora's hand?
I don't know. It does look like a knife, but Flora wasn't holding anything at all when I saw her, after the murder. But there's something bothering me. Something else.
What?
When we went into Flora's room, she wasn't standing in this position.
Well, she probably would have moved around a little bit by then.
She wasn't standing at all. She was kneeling on the floor.
That's important. Why am I not writing that down?
That's weird. That's weird.
Fitz's room is unlocked. It's up in the fellow tower.
Okay,
This could be interesting.
later.
Let's go.
This
Aww.
one's in a little pot.
Okay, that is definitely...
Oh.
It
This
looks
one's
like
in a little
gemstone,
pot.
Don't you think?
Gemstone fruit. Good job. You're doing great.
A little chart of... actually, I have no idea what it's about.
Alright. What do we got here, Kendall? We got elements. We got pie. We got...
E. E.
Oh, what was it called? We got pi. We got what looks like an operator symbol. These look like numerals.
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, there's Roman numerals and
7.
there's Greek alphabet symbols. You see what I'm seeing, right?
Yeah.
Alpha, beta, that's... I don't know what that one is. I'm pretty sure that's sigma. Epsilon.
I don't speak Greek.
What do you
don't
make of
either.
it?
Not a whole lot.
Yeah, I don't either. What's that?
Hanging baskets. They're so high up.
To you, maybe.
You're only 2 inches taller than me.
That's a tall
2
dude.
inches makes all the difference.
It does. It so does.
5'11" and 5'11" and 6 foot.
Looks like he might have magic powers.
Alright, I think we're done with here.
Let's take the beetle. Take the beetle.
I can't take the
Why
beetle.
can't you? You should be able to take the beetle.
Alright, I'm going over here. What do we got here? We got the music room. Hey, look.
Ooh.
That's Poppy, I believe.
That's one of them.
That's.
She'd be playing piano.
She.
She a god.
Sally! That's rude! Unless she is a ghost.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah,
Darn!
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
what's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer. And a pianist.
You don't look like Poppy. You
We'll
don't
need
look
to
like a
ask you a few
Poppy.
questions about Freya.
I know.
Hey, you're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice. I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
How are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away. Definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi... things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
I think
After
we gotta
what
track
happened,
Fifi down.
I really don't want to stay here much longer. 3.5 hours of piano practice. Soon as I wake up. Same as always.
3.5. Does that not hurt your hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way, so I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No, Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side. He's been teaching me about flowers.
So, did you talk to him?
Not really.
Well, that lines up.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that. Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most
Alright,
of the
that lines
afternoon.
up.
Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different.
That does sound like a
Worse.
human scream.
I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside. Freya was lying on
Simple.
the floor.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually, she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The 3 of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
That lines up with what Fitz, whatever his name was. Lines up with what he said, so. Yeah.
Needless noise from tongues expel, unless within the mouth they dwell. The spoken word, unfit for dealing with the shifting form of feeling, stand unblinking in the face of taciturn and soundless space.
Wow. That was so totally needless.
Softly does
Also
the flower
needless.
grow, all in time, and time is slow. Rest a seed within the earth, but do not rush its gentle birth. Hour by hour, day by day, Tune your heart to nature's way.
I'm kinda reluctant to press this.
That's me. I'm on a list of murder
Yep.
suspects. Always thought that would be kinda cool, but it's just tedious.
Falls a little short, doesn't it?
Evidence time.
She's just gonna start reciting poetry
Does this
again.
belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody? It was my
It
mom's
has
original.
piano music on it.
So, why is it up in Flora's room?
She just gets the most use out of it. Freya would borrow it too sometimes. What was inside?
Nothing.
Huh.
Good conversation. I want to know about the
Why
place
is
where
the
they
glass
cracked.
cracked down one side?
See?
Natural wear and tear, maybe?
No way. Freya took good care of her stuff.
See? I was
When I
right.
first saw it, I thought it looked like Flora was holding a knife with blood on the tip.
You don't think that anymore?
No, it was a stupid thing to say. The room was dark. I was in shock. I'm just an idiot.
But it was blood on the tip. If you hadn't said anything, maybe Fifi wouldn't have checked.
Exactly. It's stupid.
But we would have missed out on an important clue.
Is it a clue? Really? Tell me how it's a clue. Tell me how it helps. Nothing about the knife makes any sense. It's just freaking everyone out. Wish I'd never said anything.
All right. Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
I wonder what's in there.
Later.
Who plays the violin, I wonder?
It's pretty dusty, so I'm guessing nobody.
What's that?
Oh,
thing?
whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
He doesn't even know.
Well, it is the music room. He's got to practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
There's broken glass. Noticeable crack rang along. What's with all the cracked items? Alright, I'm going to the library to see if I can find Fifi, I believe. Hey look, library.
That looks like a
Curious.
Fifi.
I would expect bacteria of that nature to thrive in these conditions.
Excuse me.
Taking all the environmental factors into account, there must be something I am still missing.
May I talk to you? Miss?
She knows we're here. She just doesn't care.
I am a detective, and I need to talk.
Correction. You do not need to talk to me,
Oh no? How come?
because I am not a suspect. I am completely innocent of any and all crimes.
Thanks for letting me know.
Speaking of which, you have now been at Tangle Tower for over 23 minutes. Surely you have already reached a sturdy hypothesis.
A hypothesis? About the murder?
Yeah, come on, Grimoire, hurry up.
My apologies. Unfortunately, protocol dictates I must at least meet all the suspects. And that includes you. So, could you tell me your name?
Fifi Fellow, microbiologist, inventor, innovator.
I love her voice. It's so cute.
You will need to be more specific. Oneself cannot be summarized in a single response without doing one a great disservice.
So true.
I'm a nerd.
Oh,
That's it.
Well, you're a fellow. So does that make you the daughter of...
Correct.
Her design
Father
is so
and mother are
cute.
named Flora and Felix, but you need not question either of them. It will only waste valuable time. Neither of them are capable of murder.
FLORA is.
Thanks for the tip.
Fifi, you said you were a micro... something or other?
Microbiologist, but it is an insignificant label. My studies
She's so
cannot
cute.
be categorized
I'm
in
trying
any
to
one
remember what
recognized
her
field.
voice reminds me
What
of.
made you want to become a scientist in the first place?
I harbor an intrinsic fascination with the microscopic. I constructed my first one at age 10.
Constructed a microscope?
Correct.
And what's that thing on your head? Did you make that too?
My eyesight began to deteriorate when I turned 12. Not satisfied with the eyeglasses prescribed to me, I designed this custom lens instead. It automatically adjusts based on the surrounding light conditions.
Does it glow red when you get angry?
No, but that would be most amusing.
So they're transition lenses.
What can you tell me about the murder?
what can you tell me about... Wait, that's what I'm supposed to ask you.
Yes, however, you were too slow.
You fancy yourself a detective
She's
too,
so
Fifi.
cute!
I just need to know what happened.
Me too. So talk.
Fine. I knew ahead of time that Freya was going to be busy with her painting all day, so I had planned to spend the afternoon with Poppy. I was in the library all morning preparing the equipment for an experiment, only to find out that Poppy had made other plans and she was in fact planning to ignore me completely.
Oh.
So what did you do instead?
I locked myself in my room and cried.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Why?
I don't know, it just sounds kind of sad.
It is not unusual.
Oh. Good.
Play, it's not unusual.
I was in my room. The lights were off and the door was locked. Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me. I opened the door. Poppy came into my room. Her makeup was leaking. She told me Freya was dead. I did not believe it. I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
She was looking
That
to
we
miss
go up
that.
to FLORA's tower. We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs. When I saw Freya lying on the floor, I was completely and utterly devastated. Then, I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting. Poppy and I took the sample back downstairs to the library. We performed a test and found out that it was, in fact, blood.
You performed that scientific test immediately, even though you were feeling so upset?
Of course. Why would one affect the other?
How would you know to test the painting?
Cause, Poppy said
Name,
something about
Poppy
it.
Pointer. Age, 19. Profession, Apparently Poppy has defaced my notes. Under profession, I had of course originally written pianist, but she has crossed that out and written the ghost of Christmas yet to come.
Okay.
Name, Fitzfellow. Age, 24. Profession, cryptobotanist. Likes soil, dislikes electric lights.
Hang on. Cryptobotanist? I thought he was just a gardener.
That may well be his preferred label. Mine, however, is more accurate.
Do you and Fitz not see eye to eye, Fifi?
We do not.
Well, I wouldn't have thought so. He's well over 6 foot and you've got to be just barely 5.
So what's your problem with him?
That's what I was thinking.
Exactly 1 week
She's
ago,
so
I witnessed
small.
him sneaking up Pointer Tower. He was making every effort to avoid detection.
So?
He was also carrying a knife.
That's important.
That could be important.
A week ago, he snuck up Pointer Tower carrying a knife.
Name, Fiona Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, amateur microbiologist.
So
Likes
Fifi is
the
actually
meaningful
Fiona.
archiving of information. Dislikes the
Oh,
superfluous window dressing accompanying the majority of human contact. Notes, kindly disregard the polysyllabic form of my given forename and refer to me instead as Fifi.
How come you prefer Fifi?
How come you prefer Grimoire?
How are you related to the other fellows?
Fitz is my cousin. His father, a man named Flint, was my uncle.
Was?
I do not know if Flint is alive or not. He left Tangle Tower a long time ago.
And what about Freya? How are you related to her?
We share exactly one grandparent.
just
Exactly.
one.
Name, Flora Fellow. Age, 44. Profession, unknown. Likes, unknown. Dislikes, unknown.
Even Fifi doesn't
Isn't
know.
she your mother? How do you not know anything?
I believe other people may have discovered methods of reaching her, but I have little capacity for interpreting nonverbal communication.
That's sad.
And how long has Flora been... non-verbal?
She has always been quiet, willing to speak when necessary, but not more.
So what happened to make her stop talking entirely?
She suffered a great loss, something she has been unable to move beyond.
Ooh.
Wait, no, let's go back to that.
Name,
What's she have on Hawkshaw?
Hawkshaw. Age, unknown. Profession, private detective. Likes, quote, being left alone. Dislikes, quote, being constantly badgered by a weirdo nerd with a clipboard.
Oh, come on.
That face. What's she got on the harp
The statue itself does not interest me, but I do wish to know about those symbols on the harp. Have you deciphered their meaning yet?
We're working on it.
We are?
We are.
Yeah, yes, we are.
Why did Poppy leave shards of glass all over this statue?
What makes you think it was Poppy?
The statue lives in the music room. Who else would it be?
Crack tape.
Is she laughing?
Hold on. What was that about?
The gramophone belongs to Poppy, but I believe she gave it to my mother, and my mother often loaned it to Freya. Or maybe it is the other way around.
When did it get cracked?
I cannot pinpoint it exactly. All I know is that it must have happened sometime in the last 2 days.
In the last 2 days. Okay.
She did something to that tape.
Fifi's bedroom should be unlocked now.
Can't wait.
Later. We're exploring this room by room.
It's an illustrated book about birds.
It's been left open.
Ooh.
Looks like somebody was halfway through reading it.
Or it was left open for us to find.
Ever so slightly unnerving.
Bird. The ink dip is a remarkably intelligent bird with a very long lifespan, even among avian mystids. What's a mystid? Oh. Other birds are often aggressive towards it, and the ink dip lives most of its life alone. Its particular feeding habits and usually only eats the seeds of the Tentum amica, which looks like that, I guess. What's that?
Is that a snow globe?
It's a snow globe.
Of sorts.
I get to look at it. It's a snow globe of...
Hey, look at that. It's a model of Tangle Tower. There's the lake and those weird mountains. What are you thinking?
That would make an amazing souvenir.
Grimoire, why
That
is
is
he on
pretty
this
cool.
case? It is cool, but why is he on this case?
I don't know.
Alright, we've been to...
Because he's got Sally.
Alright, we've been to the music room and we've been to the library. Where to next?
Up. just up somewhere.
I'm gonna go into what looks like an aviary. That girl has huge hands.
Bird wings.
It's huge hands-ons.
Or are they bird
Oh,
wings?
just beautiful. What is it?
I don't like her voice.
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! And that shade...
Oh,
You're
God.
really
I
pushing me
don't
on.
like her voice.
Oh, thanks.
Go back to Fifi.
And to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be
He's got
brightly
pink
colored.
hair.
We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
Sure. Yeah.
She reminds me of like a bootleg Jessica Rabbit.
She looks like her. It's, oh my gosh, she looks just like her.
Love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz. He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Hold on a second.
Fitz fellow.
Ooh.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever
I
tedious
wanna look at that
feuding goes
family
on
tree
between our
again.
two families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
Whoa, I don't like her. She
Oh, okay.
We
creepy.
can get into Penny's.
Now, like, right now?
Hold on, I want to look at that family tree again.
Ask her nothing else. Her voice is annoying.
I
What
got
is
to.
that?
I think it's a family tree.
Okay. Penelope Pointer. So she's a pointer.
Fellow.
And Fitz is over here.
Yep.
So technically she's only related to the fellows by 2 marriages, which would be Primrose and Percival and Flora and Felix. So
It doesn't look like this family tree is updated.
yeah,
Because if she said it's Fitz is her fiance,
fiance.
well, they're kind of far apart.
Hold on.
They're not connected.
What
Hold
is
on,
that?
I think
wanna
it's a
look at this
family
again.
tree.
Sorry, I just closed it up.
Because,
Okay.
you know,
I believe this whole top row is already dead. So
yeah.
we're just gonna X them out. I don't know about Selena or Buck, so we're gonna cross them out for right now. Flora is Fiona's mother, which makes her married to Felix. So who's Felix?
Isn't Felix the one where they're like, oh, I don't know if he's dead or alive.
I don't know.
It's either Felix or Flint.
Percival is alive. I don't know about Pandora. It's either Felix or Flint that's alive. I don't know where Felicia is.
Somewhere.
Too many people. Too many people in this house. Too many people related by
Get
different
them all
laws.
out.
Stairs.
Finally, we get to investigate a
It's
murder.
not that spooky, really.
Don't ruin this.
Don't ruin this one.
Don't ruin this for me. Alright, we gotta go back. I'm sorry. We gotta go find the bootleg disc. Alright, we gotta finish this interrogation.
I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there.
Oh, her voice is...
Dawn every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That and he has a great deal of work to do every day. Watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you
Mulch.
with the
Whatever
work in the
that is.
greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course, and they often do. But I think they just like the company. As do I.
Oh.
I mean, I hate her, but she's sad.
Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But
I like her bird wings.
in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there.
Hold on.
Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who
There
was
we go.
loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too, standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Tell me about Fitz.
Isn't he strapping?
He is big.
And so brutal.
You shouldn't have clicked on that.
I can never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
Probably nothing.
It just sounds like you don't know him.
It's nothing.
I don't
It's
remember asking for
literally
your
nothing.
input.
It's plants and bugs. He's this world's Gonta.
She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh, I mean, well, you don't need to.
No, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it.
Tell me about
A
Flora.
fellow bird enthusiast. She's
Really?
quite the expert, truth be told. Studied
This is
them
the first bit of
professionally at one
information.
point. I think her father taught her.
The only
Are you
thing.
friends with Flora?
A little bit.
A little bit. Friends.
Ooh,
She's one for the
That's-
peace and quiet.
the closest we've got.
A little too loud for her.
yeah, maybe.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I
Felix is
said
still
it.
alive, I believe.
Maybe.
Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake. Looks like one, too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
Started.
She started what?
Oh, she's beautiful. Who is she? Wait. Is that me?
What should I ask about?
Bird book. Bird book.
Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh, yes. The book is very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one? Well, it was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
So it's
See,
not.
looking up.
You misunderstand. It was the last one. The very last.
Oh.
There's gonna be more or something. Anything else?
Um,
I don't see the point in asking about anything else. So, what's that?
What's with those little windows down there?
I think they're there for draining rainwater.
Oh,
little windows.
Tiny windows. Anything else? Big old scary
Check out that
butterfly.
butterfly.
looks evil.
Judgmental.
It looks like a freaking monkey.
I love this game.
I
What
don't
about
like
you?
mirrors. They steal your soul.
I'm in love with the animation. I can't stop just like, oh my god, I'm in awe. It's so
symmetrical without using a mirror.
smooth and it's so enticing. And the proportion.
I do by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
Wow, that's an impeccable talent.
My little writing desk. It's kind of cute.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle.
Really?
Ooh.
Woof.
Well,
Okay, well, most of the rest I want to talk to Fritz about Penny because he never mentioned her.
that is weird.
That is suspicious.
Penelope is my fiancée.
Don't take
I
this the wrong way,
suggest
but
you-
Penny doesn't really strike me as your type.
She's not who she
I-
pretends to be. People think she's... well, they make assumptions.
And how's the relationship doing recently?
Good. It's good.
It's not good. But okay, what about Fifi?
Fifi... Doesn't like me.
What did you do?
I'm not sure. If you find out, maybe you can let me know.
I wish there was like a way to pick up on these little hints that they're dropping. But I'm done here. Let's go back.
It would be nice.
It would be nice. I believe one of the guys is up in here. So let's go up here.
Whee!
All the way to the top. Man, I'm getting my steps in. The astronomy tower. Hello?
That's pretty cool.
Listen, do you hear them?
That's the professor.
The stars. They're whispering. So quiet, and yet so loud.
What are they whispering about? Are they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Mm-hmm. Could the speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find yourself standing in the astronomy tower
Yes,
of
Professor.
one Professor Percival Pointer.
Seems like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed, my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality, as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
Helpful.
Really?
He looks like a birdhouse.
Maybe that's because he's a bit cuckoo. Up.
Me? Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family. And of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And a professional astronomer?
Oh no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little hobby.
Sounds like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
Oh dear me, no. My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return.
That sounds
Nor
sad.
would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
He's a kook.
Tell the Cosmos I say hi.
He's wacko.
The day began as any other, with blissful, unremarkable routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
Did you see anyone else?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course. I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
Yeah,
Did you see
I bet.
anything?
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a curious tug of fate led me towards the fellow tower later that evening.
Give me your
Suspicious.
statement. Give me your
I was at my
statement.
telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have borrowed it. I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She looked impatient and slightly frustrated.
Same as ever then?
Quite. I passed her by and went upstairs to Fiona's room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside. I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter. I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping, so I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did, and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason. I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
Ask about Poppy.
About Poppy?
Yeah, because that's his daughter.
Poppy, my pride and joy.
Is she a snake?
Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. She... Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
Because she's a
This
suspect.
was your idea!
Oh, no. I can personally vouch for her innocence. She'd never... Well, the truth is, she loved Freya very dearly.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She was Flora's sister, a Remington by birth. The playing field has never really been even since she left.
Where did she go?
Away. She went away.
Curious
Awesome.
and
That
curious.
sounds sad.
A listless soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with her?
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional family. I'd say you could ask her about it, but I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead end.
That's dead end highlighted.
What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
He
Yeah,
is.
but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him,
Okay,
but
so
he certainly
Flint
doesn't
disappeared.
live here anymore.
Yeah.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the fellow family. Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived.
I need like a picture of this family tree just so I can go back and reference it. What's he know about Fifi?
Ah, yes, the heiress of Tangle Tower. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge. I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her. Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different wavelengths. Literally.
Kind of sounds like a Hatfield and McCoy situation. Should I ask about anyone else?
Maybe Freya.
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did.
Alright, any evidence I should present?
Maybe the statue.
A very old statue indeed. I'd recommend you leave it well alone. The poor fellow's in bad enough shape as it is.
Wait, hold on. Look at the horn statue and then look at the harp statue. They're both like the same creature. I might be looking into this too hard.
You know, I've always wanted one of those.
A mechanical solar system? What would you do with it?
I would look at it.
I guess I'll look at it.
Wait a minute.
Puzzle time!
Earth in the middle, sun on the outside. How old is this thing?
Ha ha ha. Very old. Rotate.
Hold on. Scott. It's got two opposing forces. Kendall, let me get your thoughts on this.
Oh boy.
It's supposed to be like a shadow puzzle. You see this, right?
Yeah.
So both sources leave a shadow, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So there are two ways to move the shadows.
There are two ways to move
Rotate the
shadows.
planets, and rotate the sun and moon.
Do you have to, like, cover it all up? Or get it in the rigid...
These big, thick areas, that's where the shadows have to be.
Okay.
But how would I get a shadow in, like, right there? Maybe like that-ish. But then I can't get sunlight right there. So, you know, this is complicated. Wait, hold on. This is gonna come back to bite me, but I'm just gonna...
rest my brain.
I think we might finish looking through the rest of the tower, and then I'm gonna end the stream. So, let's go over to Fellow Tower, I believe. Oh hey, it's the guy.
He looks sad.
Sir?
Not anymore.
Can you hear me? I'm Private Detective Grimoire. I have some questions for you.
Grimoire. Good mysterious name. I'd rather like it. Felix Fellow at your beck and call.
And, this is my colleague, Sally.
Yeah, that's a perfectly good name as well.
Thanks.
If you would, Mr. Fellow, we really need to ask you about the murder.
Well, I must say I'm rather jealous of you two.
Oh yeah? Why's that?
Out here solving mysteries, exploring new places, uncovering secret rooms, hidden treasures. That's what life is all about.
Secret rooms?
Generally speaking, you know, that sort of thing.
I'm trying to think of who he reminds me of. I feel like he reminds me of someone from, like, a Ghibli film. But then again, he also reminds me of King Neptune from the SpongeBob movie.
My crown.
So, Felix, what exactly do you, do?
Is it not obvious? I'm an explorer. Explorer/treasure hunter. Yes, well, best in the world.
We're talking about curse statues, spike pits.
It's a little more sophisticated than that. But I've certainly seen my share of danger, if that's what you're asking.
And, if I may ask, When did she retire?
You listen here.
Oh,
I may
wow.
be between ventures right now, but it's simply not in my nature to stay in one place for too long. I go wherever the winds of destiny take me.
Don't you live here with your wife and daughter?
Yes, well, the fellow family has certain loyalties, and with Flora the way she is...
Nothing wrong with raising a family, Mr. Fellow.
Don't misunderstand me. Fiona and Flora are my entire world. They are the greatest treasure of all.
Uh-huh.
He's like an eccentric grandpa that's been everywhere and knows everything.
Why on earth would you want to know about that?
The murder of Freya Fellow. The reason we're here?
Ah, right. Nasty business. Very unfortunate. I regret that I can't be of any help, but I wish you all the best in your investigation.
Hear that, Grimoire? We're done here. Let's go.
It's a simple question, Felix. I'm sure you're up to it.
Well, there's not much to tell. Mostly, I was in my room by myself, working on Flora's, working on a project.
Your room is quite close to Flora's tower. You didn't hear anything unusual?
What qualifies as unusual?
What have you got?
Now he's starting to seem suspicious.
It was dusk. A feeling lingered in the air. Malevolent, perhaps. Uncertain.
All the ones that seem suspicious aren't the ones that are actually suspicious. I've learned that.
Fine. I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room.
Heading
The
down
footsteps
the
were
stairs.
calm, orderly, so I thought nothing of it.
So they would have
Shortly
to come
afterward,
from-
I heard a second set of footsteps, going the same way. This time I could tell just from the sound that something was wrong. So I looked out into the hallway. I got a glimpse of Poppy disappearing down the staircase to the floor below. Didn't know what to make of it, to be honest. I thought perhaps she'd had a disagreement with Fitz, as I know those two are close. So I looked into his room, just in case, but it was empty, as was the garden beyond his window. Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her. We went into Flora's room. Poor Freya was laying on the floor. Fiona, Poppy, Fitz, and Pointer were there already. Flora, too, of course. Soon enough, everyone else made their excuses and left.
Including you?
Not I. I stayed. Flora needed me.
What does he see in Flora?
Dearest Flora, a remarkable woman. Yes, been married over 20 years now.
What was that?
You two still get on?
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of three. Always something of a lone wolf, you know? Just the way she is.
Lone wolf is putting it lightly. She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other humans.
Other humans?
Well, yes, other people, you know.
Flora isn't human confirmed. What of Fifi?
My daughter Fiona, our little burgeoning genius. You've met her?
We did. She's going by Fifi these days.
So I've heard. I asked her some weeks ago, what's wrong with your real name? She told me, get this, she wanted a name with an even number of syllables. She makes up the strangest things when she's under pressure.
What makes you think she made that up?
I happen to know the real reason she prefers Fifi over Fiona.
Really?
Oh, yeah?
It's what Freya called her.
Oh,
Oh,
that was sweet.
so all of the inhabitants of I forget what this place is called. Tangle Tower. All of the inhabitants of Tangle Tower ended up in the murder room, except for Hawkshaw.
Yes.
And from what I can tell, everyone's story lines up with the other, except for, I would say, Pointer, Felix, and maybe Penny. We can't get anything out of Flora, so yeah. Anyone I should ask about?
Maybe Freya.
Freya?
Uncommonly skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more than her talent. She helped me get started with my own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood carving, too. Tremendous patience. She was ever so good with dear Flora.
Freya and Flora were close?
Oh, yes, especially recently.
How are you related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to carry the name at all. There's a family tree in the Grand Hall. You should take a look at it.
What about her inheritance?
Freya's parents died when she was around 3 years old. She came to live here shortly afterwards.
I'm getting the most
Nobody left her a
exposition here.
thing?
I'm afraid not. She had no formal claim over anything at Tangle Tower.
That's all the statements.
Let's go over them all.
You want to go over the statements now or later?
Now.
Let's go now. Takes us back out to the beginning. Lake's Edge. Okay. Alright. Felix is the husband of Flora and the father of Fifi. Uncle to, what's her face? Freya. Whereas close friend, decent friend, Primrose, Pointer. Who's Penny's parents? What happened to Penny's parents? Because they're just gone.
Maybe they're dead.
I believe they might be dead. But is there anything suspicious about Penny? Yes. Very suspicious. Alright, we're gonna... Hold on. Let's take bets right now. Who do you think did it?
I kind of think it was Penny. Or, I mean, it might have been Poppy.
Based on current information.
At first I thought it was Flora, but it still might be Flora. I honestly think it's Penny.
We still don't know what happened to Flora in between when she entered the room and Freya's death.
That's why she's still very suspicious.
We also know from Felix that someone exited the room, and right after, so did Poppy.
Yeah, I don't trust her.
Poppy noted that she went from
the garden.
She went from the garden, where she was with Felix, up to the top of the tower, went back down to get Fifi, came out, that's where they met the professor, and went up, I believe. After they went back up, Felix came out, met with Penny, and they both went up. I believe that's how it works. It only shows where they were up until they found the body. Alright, so final call. Who do you think did it?
Penelope. Penny. That one.
Alright.
Yeah.
I still don't know what happened with Flora, so I'm gonna say Flora. Now we got both our bases pegged, so. Suspect statements.
It may just be because I don't like Penny.
It may be.
That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
Fitz and I were up in the Moonlight Garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was
Oh,
locked.
Fitz.
Nobody was answering. So I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do. So I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs, just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually, she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer, so I escorted her.
Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did.
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Then I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long, but when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
That's disappointing.
What is?
All the statements line up with each other.
Okay.
You know,
Everything lines up except for one thing. Alright? Before Felix saw Poppy walking down the stairs, he heard another set of footprints.
yeah.
And Hawkshaw said that she was in the library.
Mm-hmm.
No one saw Hawkshaw until she was in the foyer. So, potentially, she could have been upstairs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They don't just line up. Some of them even seem to specifically confirm each other.
What do I do with this information?
That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
Fitz and I were up in the Moonlight Garden most of the day. I heard this.
We thought
the
it
door
was
so I made
Poppy.
I left my tower and head.
What do we do from here?
It's a bird bath. Is that just rainwater? Looks a little weird.
The birds seem to like it.
They're even singing a little tune. Toot 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 toot.
Please don't do that.
Well then. I guess we're gonna save here because it's been about 2 hours already. And we'll pick this up later. So I'm gonna quit the table. That has been today's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.